And so we've been a big supporter of the arts for many years in different places. Our Imperial Theatre, St. John Theatre Company, different artists and different programs around Canada. So really pleased with this one. Special thanks as well. It is the Marco Polo. I'm not ruining the secret here, but you'll see it in much more detail. And special thanks as well to Barry Ogden. Barry's been a big supporter of the Marco Polo for many years with the replica. Barry was the inspiration for this and provided us some of the history as well for this mural. So Barry, thank you for that.
There you go, Barry.
I will turn it over to Jeff to explain a little bit about the mural, and then we'll have the big unveil.
Hello. So I was going to go off the cuff, but I thought I better write a few things down because that went bad for me the last time I did something like this. So good afternoon. Thanks for all coming to this unveiling. When Barry first contacted me about the possibility of painting the clipper ship, the Marco Polo, I was pretty excited. Anyone who knows me knows that I like ships, and I like to study history, so it really was a good fit for me. I'd already read a lot about the Marco Polo. I knew of it, and you know, I'm one of those guys that's always standing in front of the models, you know, at the at the museum, and there's a beautiful model at the Marco Polo terminal here. I just love looking at those things, and of course I knew about the existence of the Marco Polo project, and somewhere in the city under wraps is a 1/3 scale replica of the ship that I've seen. And so I also knew about the symphony that James Stewart has written because of my connection with the Arts Council in St. Andrews. So you know, there's a lot of you know, information about the ship. So I was pretty confident going into this that I could interpret that well. But that's when the curveball came. Barry wanted the mural to show the Marco Polo in front of the city in the year 1851. You know, knowing from, you know, another mural in town that the Great Fire took place in 1877, I started wondering, boy, is there any photos of the city in 1851? And my fears were realized on a trip to the archives that there aren't. There are very few, you know, panoramic photos, documentation of what the city looked like before the fire. Now there's a lot of individual buildings, but you know, it turns out all the photo shops burned in the Great Fire. They were in that downtown core, and so panic kind of set in. It's you know, pretty hard to interpret something when you have no photos to interpret it with. But you know, in the archives, there's some pretty sharp cookies there. So at a table, just when I was there doing some research, I just happened to bump into Ron Rees, a notable historian, and he pointed me in the direction of the maps of the city, which you know, locate where all the buildings are. It doesn't actually necessarily show you exactly what they look like, but it showed you where they were located. So from that, I was able to piece together you know, what the city looked like in 1851. And you know, in 1851, St. John was one of the most important ports in the world. Essential commodities were provided, were sought after by nations globally. The very best tradesmen and businessmen worked hand in hand here, always with an eye to the future. The same thing can be said of St. John today, which is why I've been very proud to be a part of this tradition of excellence. I'd like to thank Barry particularly for all of his input on this project. His knowledge of this area and this province is unsurpassed, and his energy to get things done is inspirational. So I really enjoyed you know, collaborating with him on this. And I'd like to thank Irving Oil for your ongoing commitment to the arts, and for writing a history daily that we can all be proud of. That's pretty cool. So the very best to all of you, and thanks for coming out.
All right. Why don't we get Jeff's daughter? Do you want to come help us do a countdown? Can you come help do a countdown for us? All right. We're going to do a countdown. I should say, Minister Doherty, thank you for coming as well. Great to see you here. You ready? You going to do a countdown from 5? All right.
Okay.
5, 4, 3,